We disappeared on a Tuesday, 3 a.m., while the city slept, while the world thought we were just another wealthy family safe in their mansion. We left everything: the house with 27 rooms, the company Marcus had spent years protecting, the life we'd built from ashes and impossible choices. We took 2 babies, 3 bags, and enough cash to disappear. That's it. Everything else, the cars, the bank accounts, the name Harrington, we left behind like it had never been ours at all. Maybe it never was. Marcus drove for 6 hours straight, north, then west, then north again, changing directions randomly, making sure no one could follow our path. The twins slept in their car seats, peaceful, unaware that their entire lives had just changed. I watched Marcus's hands on the steering wheel, white-knuckled, shaking slightly. "Are you okay?" I asked as the sun started rising. He laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. "I just gave up everything my family built for 3 generations. I'm a fugitive, a criminal, a man who kidnapped his own children from a court order." He glanced at me. "So no, I'm not okay, but I'm here. With you, with them, and that's enough. It has to be enough. Do you regret it? Ask me in a year, when we're living in some small town under fake names, when the twins don't understand why they can't tell anyone who their father really is, when you're working a normal job instead of living in comfort." He paused. "Ask me when the reality of what we've done actually hits." "I'm asking now." He was quiet for a long time. Then, "No, I don't regret it. I regret that we had to make this choice, but I don't regret making it." We drove on in silence, toward a future we couldn't imagine, away from a past we could never return to. We stopped at a motel just before noon. Small, run down, the kind of place that doesn't ask questions if you pay cash. Marcus checked us in under fake names: Michael and Sarah Thompson. Just another couple traveling with their babies. The room was tiny. One bed, a crib we'd have to share between the twins. Walls so thin we could hear the TV next door. It was the opposite of everything we'd left behind. And I'd never been more grateful for anything in my life. "Home, sweet home," Marcus said, setting down our bags. "It's perfect." He looked at me like I was crazy. "Ava, this place is safe, anonymous, ours." I sat on the bed with Lily in my arms. "No one's looking for us here. No court orders, no James Chen, no media watching our every move. Just us." Marcus sat beside me with Noah. "Just us," he repeated, like he was trying to convince himself. The twins started fussing, hungry, wet, needing things we'd have to figure out how to provide without credit cards or a trail. "I'll go get supplies," Marcus said. "There's a store down the road. What do we need?" "Diapers, formula, baby food." I pulled out cash from one of our bags. "And whatever you can get that doesn't require ID to buy." He took the money, looked at it, like he'd never seen cash before. "I used to spend this much on a single dinner. Now it's our survival budget for a week. Welcome to normal life." "There's nothing normal about this." But he was almost smiling. "But I'll learn. We'll both learn." He left, and I sat alone in a motel room with 2 3-month-old babies, wondering what we'd just done, wondering if we'd made the biggest mistake of our lives, or the bravest choice. Marcus came back an hour later with bags full of supplies: cheap diapers, generic formula, baby clothes from a discount store. "I didn't know what size they wore," he admitted. "So I got everything from 3 months to 6 months. Is that right?" "That's perfect." I started unpacking. "Did anyone ask questions?" The cashier looked at me funny when I paid cash for everything, but she didn't say anything. He sat heavily on the bed. This is going to be harder than I thought. What is? Being normal, being invisible. I've spent my entire adult life standing out, being Marcus Harrington, commanding rooms, making decisions that affected thousands of people. He looked at the cheap diapers in his hands. Now I'm just a guy buying diapers at a discount store, and I don't know how to be that person. You learn. In the same way, I learned to be Mrs. Harrington. In the same way, we learned to survive your father and Richard and everything else. I touched his face. You adapt, and you remember why you're doing it. He looked at the twins. For them. For us, all four of us. We spent the rest of the day figuring out our new life. How to change diapers in a cramped bathroom. How to heat bottles without fancy equipment. How to calm two crying babies in a room with paper-thin walls. It was exhausting, messy, nothing like the life we'd left. And somehow, it was the most real thing we'd ever done. That night, after the twins finally fell asleep, Marcus and I lay in bed staring at the ceiling. Diana's probably called the police by now, he said quietly. Probably. They'll put out alerts, APBs, start looking for us. Yes, James will use this. Tell everyone we're unstable, dangerous, that we kidnapped Lily. We did kidnap Lily, legally speaking. Marcus turned to look at me. Do you think we're wrong? Do you think we should have stayed? Fought it legally? I thought about it, really thought about it. I think the legal system failed us. I think a man who violated me, who manipulated genetics to force his way into our family, shouldn't get rights just because he shares DNA with our daughter. I turned to face him. So no, I don't think we're wrong. I think we're protecting our family the only way we could. Even if it makes us criminals? Even then, he pulled me close. I love you. I need you to know that. Whatever happens, whatever comes from this choice, I love you, and I'd make the same choice again. I love you too. I kissed him softly. Now get some sleep. The twins will be up in 3 hours, and we need Toby ready for our first full day of being nobodies. Nobodies, he repeated. Michael and Sarah Thompson, parents, fugitives, nobodies. The most important nobodies in the world. The first week was the hardest. We moved every few days, different motels, different towns, always heading west, always paying cash, always looking over our shoulders. The twins were too young to understand. But I saw the stress wearing on Marcus. He'd wake up at night in a panic, check the windows, make sure no one has found us. We can't live like this forever, he said on day 8. We were in Wyoming, small town, mountains in the distance, beautiful and terrifying at the same time. I know, we need to settle somewhere, get new identities, build something sustainable. How do we do that without leaving a trail? He pulled out a phone. Not his old phone, a burner he'd bought with cash. I have contacts, people who owe me favors, people who can get us documents, legal identities that'll hold up to scrutiny. That's risky. If they tell anyone, they won't, because I know things about them that they don't want revealed. He looked at the phone like it was a weapon. I never wanted to use this leverage, never wanted to be the kind of man who blackmails people. But for you, for them, he gestured to the twins. I'll be whatever I need to be. Marcus, I'm not my father. I know that, but I learned from him. And right now, those lessons might save us. He started dialing. So I'm going to make some calls. Get us papers. Find us a place where we can actually live instead of just survive. And I'm going to use every underhanded tactic he ever taught me to do it. I should have stopped him, should have said there was another way, but I couldn't, because he was right. We needed stability for the twins, for us, even if getting it meant becoming the people we'd spent a year trying not to be. The new identities arrived 2 weeks later. Michael Carter, Sarah Carter, twin children, Lily and Noah Carter, birth certificates, social security numbers, complete histories that would pass any background check. How did you get these? I asked, staring at documents that looked completely real. I told you, I know people. Marcus was setting up a laptop, another burner device. And I paid them enough to forget they ever helped us. With what money? We can't access our accounts without. I had offshore accounts my father set up, ones that Richard didn't know about, ones that the government doesn't know about. He looked at me with something like shame. I never used them, never wanted to be that kind of person. But they exist, and right now, they're keeping us alive. So we're living on illegal money. We're living on survival money. There's a difference. Is there? He closed the laptop. Ava, I need you to understand something. The man I was, Marcus Harrington, heplayed by the rules, he tried to be good, moral, better than his father. And where did that get us? Fighting a legal system that gave parental rights to a predator. Losing everything we'd built, becoming fugitives. So you're saying we should stop trying to be good? I'm saying good doesn't matter if we're destroyed. I'm saying sometimes you have to break rules to protect what matters. He moved closer. I finally understand what my father meant about doing whatever it takes, not for power or control, but for family, for the people you love. That's what separates me from him. The why, not the how. I wanted to argue, wanted to say there was still a line we shouldn't cross. But looking at the twins, sleeping peacefully, safe because of choices we'd made, even the questionable ones, I couldn't find the words. So what now? I asked instead. Now we settle. I found a place, small town in Montana, population 2,000, far from anywhere James would think to look, far from the life we left behind. He pulled up photos on the laptop. There's a house for sale. Cheap. Cash purchase. No questions asked. We can live there, raise the twins, be normal. The house was small, 2 bedrooms, a yard, nothing like the mansion we'd left. It was perfect. When do we leave? Tomorrow. I've arranged transportation. We'll be there by the end of the week. And then what? We just live? Pretend to be the Carters forever? Yes. We live. We pretend. We protect our family. He touched my face. And maybe, eventually, we forget. We're pretending. Maybe we actually become the people we're pretending to be. Is that possible? I don't know, but I'm willing to try. Are you? I looked at everything we'd given up, everything we'd lost, everything we'd become, and I looked at what we'd gained. Freedom, safety, each other, the twins. Yes, I said, I'm willing to try. We arrived in Cedar Falls, Montana on a Thursday. The town was exactly what Marcus had described. Small, quiet, the kind of place where everyone knew everyone and strangers were noticed. Which meant we had to be careful, had to build our cover story perfectly. Michael Carter had gotten a remote job doing financial consulting. Sarah Carter was a stay-at-home mom. We'd moved here for the clean air and small-town life for our twins. Simple, believable, mostly true. The house was at the edge of town, white with blue shutters, a porch that needed fixing, a yard that needed work, but it was ours. We moved in with our 3 bags and 2 babies, started building a life from nothing. This is it, Marcus said, standing in the empty living room. Our new life. No servants, no company, no empire to protect. Just us and whatever we can build with our own hands. Scared? Terrified? He smiled, but also excited. Is that wrong? To be excited about losing everything? Not if what you lost was killing you. I set down Noah's carrier. The old life, being Marcus Harrington, it was destroying you piece by piece. Maybe this is what you needed. To be nobody. To be free. Free. He tested the word. I don't think I've ever been free. Not really. Always my father's son, then Richard's target, then the media's billionaire villain. But here, Michael Carter, he's free. He's just a guy with a family and a small house and no past weighing him down. Is that who you want to be? He thought about it. Yes, I think it is. We spent that first day making the house livable, setting up cribs, unpacking clothes, learning where everything was in a town we'd never seen before. That night we sat on the porch. The twins are sleeping inside, stars overhead, silence that felt like peace. What do you think they're doing right now? I asked. Diana, James, everyone back in the city. Looking for us, probably thinking we're crazy. Maybe they're right. Do you miss it? The old life? Marcus was quiet for a long time. I miss parts of it. I miss Clara. I miss the library. I miss feeling like I could protect you with money and lawyers and power. He took my hand. But mostly, I don't miss it at all. Because that life came with conditions, obligations, expectations. This life, this is ours, just ours. Even if we're criminals, even then, we sat there in the darkness, holding hands, listening to the quiet, and for the first time in our entire relationship, we weren't fighting anything. We were just living, just being, just us. The town accepted us slowly. Our neighbors were kind but curious. Where were we from? What brought us to Cedar Falls? Why this town specifically? We told our story carefully, practiced answers, consistent details. Nobody questioned it. Or if they did, they were too polite to say. Within a month, we were just another family. The Carters with the cute twins. Nice couple. Quiet. Kept to themselves mostly. Perfect. Marcus took to it surprisingly well. He learned to fix the porch, plant a garden, do normal dad things like changing diapers and waking up at 2 a.m. for feedings. He was happy. Actually happy. I never knew life could be this simple, he said one morning. We were having coffee. On the porch, the twins are playing on a blanket. No board meetings, no media, no enemies are trying to destroy me. Just this. Do you think it'll last? I hope so. But I'm not naive. Eventually someone will recognize us, or James will find us, or the past will catch up. He looked at me seriously. But until then, I'm going to enjoy every single day of being Michael Carter. Normal guy, husband, father, nobody special. You're special to me. That's all that matters. But of course, peace never lasts forever. 3 months into our new life, I saw him, a man at the grocery store, watching me, watching the twins. He looked familiar, but I couldn't place how. Can I help you? I asked, keeping my voice casual. Sarah Carter, he said, but the way he said it made it clear he knew that wasn't my real name. My blood went cold. I'm sorry. Do we know each other? Not personally, but I know who you really are. He smiled, not friendly. And I know what you're running from. I grabbed the twins' stroller. I think you have me confused with someone else. I don't think so, Mrs. Harrington. Or should I say, Ava? I ran out of the store, into the parking lot, got the twins in the car and drove home faster than I should have. Marcus was in the garage when I got there, working on the car. We've been found, I said. He stood immediately. What? A man at the store. He knew who I was. Who we are? I was shaking. Marcus, he knew. Did he say what he wanted? No, he just smiled, like he was enjoying watching me panic. Marcus grabbed his phone. Describe him. I did, everything I could remember. He pulled up something on his phone. This him? A photo. The same man. Older picture, but definitely him. Yes, who is he? Marcus's face went hard. His name is David Walsh. He's a private investigator, used to work for my father, then for Richard. And if he's here, it means someone hired him to find us. James. Probably. Marcus started pacing. Okay, we have options. We can run again, find a new town, new names, or what? He looked at me with that old coldness, the Marcus Harrington who was made of ice and calculation. Or I handle David Walsh, make sure he can't tell anyone where we are. Handle how? However, I need to. I knew what he was suggesting, and it terrified me. Marcus, you can't. Can't what? Protect our family. That's exactly what I'm going to do. He grabbed his keys. Stay here with the twins. Lock the doors. Don't open them for anyone but me. Where are you going? To have a conversation with Mr. Walsh and make sure it's his last conversation about the Harrington family. He left before I could stop him, and I stood there holding our twins, wondering if the man I loved was about to become something we couldn't come back from, wondering if protecting our family meant losing ourselves completely. Marcus came back 3 hours later. No blood on his hands, no obvious signs of violence. But something in his eyes had changed. Is it handled? I asked. It's handled. What did you do? I convinced Mr. Walsh that finding us would be hazardous to his health, and I paid him enough to forget he ever saw you. Marcus sat down heavily, and I made it very clear what would happen if he changes his mind. You threatened him. Yes. With what? Things I'm not proud of. Things my father would have been proud of. He looked at me. But he's gone. He won't tell James. He won't tell anyone. We're safe. For now. For now, I repeated. But what about next time? When someone else finds us? Do you threaten them too? Do you keep becoming more like your father every time we're in danger? If that's what it takes to keep you safe? Yes. His voice was firm. I know you wanted me to be better than him. I wanted that too. But I'm learning that sometimes being better means losing. And I can't lose you. I can't lose them. So, if I have to be the villain to protect my family, I'll be the villain. I didn't know what to say to that, because he was right and he was wrong. And the line between protecting and becoming what we feared was getting thinner every day. I love you, I finally said, but I'm scared of who we're becoming. Me too. He pulled me close. But I'm more scared of losing this, losing us. So I'll carry that fear. I'll be the one who makes the hard choices. I'll be the one who becomes something I hate, as long as you and the twins stay safe. That's not sustainable, Marcus. You can't sacrifice yourself to save us. Watch me. That's where I'm stopping you today. We escaped. We built a new life. We found peace. But peace costs something. And Marcus is paying that price in pieces of himself. He's becoming the man he swore he'd never be, making choices his father would make, justifying it with love instead of power. But is there really a difference? Can you protect your family without losing your soul? Or is that the price of keeping the people you love safe? Drop a comment with where you're watching from and tell me, would you threaten someone to protect your family? Would you become the villain if it meant keeping your children safe? Because that's the question Marcus is facing. And the answer might destroy everything we've built. Next episode, you'll see what happens when the past doesn't just knock on your door, it breaks it down. You'll see if love is enough when the whole world is looking for you. And you'll see what Marcus is truly willing to become.